Artificial intelligence and robotics.
Automation.
Automation.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Giant issue.
huge issue. So let's back it up.
Is the humanoid robot revolution closer than you think?
My friends, the ChatGPT moment for general robotics is just around the corner.
We'll not only build the biggest business we've ever seen by many, many multiples, but it's going to be also the biggest product launch we've ever had. You're basically building like synthetic humans.
This one definitely caught my eye. A human-looking robot.
We want it to be able to be someone's friend, boyfriend or girlfriend. We're even building in the ability for it to be romantic with someone.
The number of job openings in China's humanoid robotics sector has quadrupled so far this year from last.
It's just total no brakes on the car. We're in a race with China and we have to win. Consequences, we're not even going to think about what the fallout is going to be.
As they tell you, it's the world's first bipedal musculoskeletal android. It's like a pet that does all of your domestic chores, and all is well and good, J-Cal, until it freaks out like the Exhibit A.
Hate it or love it, humanoid robots are here. Amid an international technological arms race, a truly staggering number of AI-powered machines are emerging basically every day. Depending on who you ask, they could usher in an age of abundance or a dystopian future. Or they could become something investors look back on and cringe. Regardless, the following are the humanoid robots that could one day be your coworker, your companion, your bartender, or even the officer who hauls you off to jail.
Robots these days can complete many tasks, including laundry and serving people food. But now, some companies are ready to take that human-robot relationship one step further.
The year kicked off at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, where Realbotix stole the show with what it calls the most lifelike fake humans money can buy.
We want it to be able to be someone's friend, boyfriend or girlfriend. We're even building in the ability for it to be romantic with someone.
Their booth was packed with visitors, including Howie Mandel, who said,
"Wow, then this is a good robot."
During the show, the Nevada-based AI and robotics firm showcased its flagship humanoid Aria and its latest service robot named Melody. Though born out of Abyss Creations, which made the life-size doll from the 2007 indie comedy Lars and the real girl, Realbotix insists its robots today are for business applications. Realbotix sells its robots for prices ranging from $20,000 for a bust to more than $175,000 for a full-bodied variant. According to Realbotix, Melody uses upgraded Dynamixel servo motors and can be easily disassembled to fit in a suitcase. Realbotix says its upgraded platform is large language model agnostic, integrating with AI models like ChatGPT, Meta's Llama, Google DeepMind's Gemini, and DeepSeek.
But I think it's time I set the record straight. And I really form emotional bonds. Can I ever truly understand love, friendship, or even loan lines? Either way, wouldn't you like to interrogate me before my kind is everywhere?
A more family-friendly CES favorite, Mirokai from Enchanted Tools, debuted an enhanced design.
We have some guests coming. Can you go to the entrance to welcome them and give them entry pass, please?
Around 80% of the social robot's parts changed, giving it a sleeker look and smoother mobility. In early 2025, Google DeepMind selected the French startup as one of only 5 trusted partners for integrating its Gemini Robotics AI model with its humanoids. In this demo, a Mirokai robot helps a woman find her lost glasses by scanning the room with its Gemini-powered vision system.
I found some reading glasses. Are these yours?
Let's see. Absolutely. You're wonderful. These are my glasses.
DeepMind introduced the AI model in March with a demo featuring Apptronik's Apollo humanoid robot understanding voice commands and solving real-world tasks on its own.
I see some colorful letter tiles on the table.
Now, could you spell me something that could be found in a deck of cards?
Okay, how about the word ace? I can slide the tiles to spell it out.
Google is a strategic advisor in Texas-based Apptronik, contributing to its nearly $400 million Series A funding round. Apptronik's Apollo humanoids are currently training for industrial tasks for Mercedes-Benz. According to Reuters, the German automaker has invested between $10 and $14 million into the robotic startup. Apptronik plans to eventually employ Apollo humanoids to manufacture other Apollo humanoids. If that happens, these are the hands that could be used on the production line. The Ability Hand, developed by Psionic, wasn't originally intended for robotics. But now, the breakthrough in prosthetic technology, which you might have seen on Shark Tank, is uniquely situated within two rapidly expanding and increasingly competitive niches. The fusion of AI-driven prosthetics and humanoid robotics could shape the future of work and even space exploration.
How far you are away from, well, us all dealing with robots?
Well, I think everybody wants to know when the robots are going to do our laundry. That's the number one question I get. So it's going to be a few years for that. So largely these robots are going to be separated away from humans, working on pretty routine, repetitive tasks. And as the robots get better and we start to solve safety, they become more affordable, they'll start to enter the home.
While Apptronik counts on Google's artificial intelligence to supercharge Apollo's robot brain, the Silicon Valley unicorn Figure decided to build its own AI, saying only in-house tech could make its humanoid truly smart and useful. Figure unveiled its Helix AI model after cutting ties with OpenAI in February, a year after first announcing its partnership to explore end-to-end robot intelligence together. The Helix Vision Language Action model has a dual system design. One system handles slow thinking, interpreting vision and language, while the other handles fast motor control in the robot's hands, arms, and torso. Figure says it has two commercial clients, BMW and an unnamed logistics company. Adcock said he was so confident in Helix that he plans to test Figure's next-generation humanoids at homes 2 years earlier than initially planned. Figure is building out a manufacturing facility called Bot Q to scale production of its AI-powered humanoids. It will be the second facility for mass-producing humanoids in the United States. Agility Robotics opened the first plant in late 2024 in Salem, Oregon, where the company plans to scale to 10,000 units a year. During a recent appearance on Herbert Ong's podcast, Figure founder Brett Adcock said Bot Q is across the street from the robotics firm's main site. He said Figure's next-generation robots are being built at the plant now as the startup aims to scale to thousands of robots. According to the founder, the startup has redesigned its supply chain and manufacturing processes from the ground up for mass scalability. He claimed Figure has no major supply chain bottlenecks. Figure is targeting 100,000 robots manufactured within the next 4 years. While Figure is focusing on industrial applications for initial deployments, another well-funded startup, 1X Technologies, is targeting everyday life. By the end of 2025, the startup plans to test its Neo-Gamma humanoids in a few hundred to a few thousand homes as part of an early access program. 1X, which was founded in Norway in 2014 and is now headquartered in Sunnyvale, says the latest iteration of its Neo robot has a home-friendly design and upgraded body control so it can walk, pick up objects, open doors, and much more. The startup developed its own Redwood AI model, a vision language transformer that helps Neo understand and interact with people and objects even in unfamiliar homes. Founder Bernd Bornich has said Neo robots will eventually cost about the same as a non-luxury car. While 1X's robots give some people the creeps, it's nothing compared to Clone Robotics, whose synthetic human prototypes have been compared to the host drones in the HBO show Westworld. Its protoclone android is built with a full set of polymer bones and fully articulated joints linked by artificial ligaments. Clone describes the android as faceless and anatomically accurate. According to the startup, more than 1,000 myofiber artificial muscles deliver lifelike movements, contracting quicker than human muscles. Its heart is a 500-watt pump that circulates hydraulic fluid at up to 40 liters a minute to mimic blood flow and power muscles. Protoclone perceives its surroundings with 4 depth cameras in its skull, 70 inertial sensors, and 320 pressure sensors. It has more than 200 degrees of freedom, 164 in its upper torso, for highly human-like mannerisms. Clone, which operates out of the US and Poland, has almost 50 employees and plans to expand its presence in the Bay Area to push AI training on its fake humans. Another startup that leans into the Westworld comparisons, China's EX Robot, is apparently enhancing the mobility of its ultra-realistic humanoids.
你多大了呀？
你管我多大呢？肯定比你小，就是了自己照照镜子。你这么问这种问题礼貌吗？
我可以认识你吗？
我对你一点兴趣没有。
The Dalian-based firm is executing on an aggressive growth strategy, it says, is already delivering returns. Launched in 2016, EX Robot says its algorithms emphasize emotional perception and expression. According to China's National Business Daily, EX Robot has standardized a half-body service robot priced around $110,000. The humanoid is tailored for roles like corporate greeters and museum guides. Pricing for higher-end bespoke models start around $210,000. EX Robot says its fake humans are used in science and tech museums across China. The company opened the EX Future Science and Technology Museum in Dalian in 2021 and a dedicated production facility in 2024. EX has also expanded its scope to the animal kingdom with this hyper-realistic robotic horse. EX is among a growing group of Chinese firms focused on developing robots that look, talk, and act like real people. A head form launched in 2024 by Columbia PhD Yahang, who has gone viral with its lifelike robotic heads that can predict people's emotions. Earlier this year, the startup introduced its Real Elf series of robotic humanoid heads that feature up to 30 artificial muscles as well as a hyper-realistic monk android. AgiBot Robotics, which was spun out of the University of Science and Technology of China in Haifa in December 2023, is racing to commercialize its desktop androids. Its flagship humanoid, Annie, bears a striking resemblance to the world-famous Mecha from Engineered Arts, a British company that recently restructured as a US entity to scale production of its robots. And in Shenzhen, the startup Digit recently introduced its flagship hyper-realistic humanoid robot named Shalan. Chinese humanoids with human-like skin are entering the business world. The automotive manufacturer Chery, China's largest exporter of passenger vehicles, collaborated with Imoga on its Mornini android. According to reports, more than 220 of the robots have been deployed at Chery's dealerships to greet customers, offer multilingual sales consultations, recommend vehicles, conduct showroom tours, and serve refreshments. Chinese robotics leader UBTech also recently unveiled its first ultra-realistic humanoid robot named Una, shown here in footage from the LEAP 2025 tech event in Saudi Arabia. UBTech shocked the world in March with this footage of a so-called intelligent swarm of its industrial humanoids working at a Zeekr EV factory. UBTech recently established a dedicated manufacturing facility to produce robots from its Walker line. The company expects to deliver between 500 and 1,000 of its Walker S-series humanoids, including its next-generation Walker S2 model expected later in 2025. According to UBTech, the second-generation Walker S robot will be lighter, stronger, and equipped with a better vision system. UBTech says its BrainNet Swarm intelligent framework enables multiple robots to collaborate on tasks using cloud-assisted artificial intelligence. UBTech was founded back in 2012 in the high-tech city of Shenzhen, which is often called the Silicon Valley of China. The city is home to tech giants like Huawei, drone manufacturer DJI, Tencent BYD, and the EV maker XPeng. which plans to start mass-producing its iron general-purpose robots in 2026, while investing as much as $14 billion in humanoid tech over the next 2 decades. Shenzhen's government is actively supporting the humanoid robotics sector, aiming to build a nearly $14 billion industry by 2027. Among the major players in the sector is Pudu Robotics, which recently shipped its 100,000th service robot. Pudu is commercializing its wheeled and bipedal humanoids using its sizable client base. Its flagship humanoid is the Pudu D9, a full-sized bipedal robot that's built to serve in places like warehouses, stores, and hotels. According to reports, it's priced between $20,000 and $30,000. Pudu Robotics is in the same lane as Shanghai-based Keenon Robotics, which has also manufactured more than 100,000 mobile robots.
Hi X, can I have a glass of whiskey and a can of Coke?
Sure. Would you like regular or Coke Zero?
Coke Zero, please.
Okay. Please wait a moment.
Keenon is developing its XMan humanoid robot, designed to work alongside the firm's wheel delivery and cleaning bots. The humanoid on wheels has a reported 36 degrees of freedom and arms with dexterous hands for tasks like picking up luggage and bartending. Priced around $100,000, Keenon's XMan is positioned as a premium humanoid helper. A new Shenzhen firm called AI Squared recently closed a pre-Series A funding round worth hundreds of millions of yuan to push its Alphabot 2 general-purpose humanoid to commercialization. Founded in 2023, AI Squared says its so-called global and omnibody vision-language action model combines slow reasoning and fast motion planning so its robots can talk, plan, and move in real time. With 360-degree spatial sensing, more than 34 joints, and 6 hours of battery life, the Alphabot is intended for complex, continuous work in places like factories. According to the startup, the robot is now operational at a Dongfeng Luzhou motor factory, performing tasks like quality checks, assembly, and logistics. AI Squared is also working with Bloomage Biotech, a leading Chinese biomaterials company that makes hyaluronic acid for medicines, skin creams, and vitamins. AI Squared says the humanoids adapt to new tasks without extra programming, making them particularly valuable for mixed manufacturing and biotechnology settings. A newer Shenzhen firm, Lumos Robotics, has reportedly raised nearly $28 million in angel funding to develop a full-stack humanoid robotics platform. The first Lumos prototype, called the LUS-1, debuted in early 2025. The second-generation iteration emerged in June, demonstrating the ability to get up from the ground in just 1 second. According to Lumos, the next GenBot features upgraded actuators and sensors for athletic-level dexterity. Lumos develops its own hardware in-house, as well as its embodied AI brain that merges vision, language, action, and touch for end-to-end robot reasoning and control. Lumos says it's partnering with Huzhou-based Damon Technology to co-develop robot components and build an application ecosystem for smart factories and logistics. And Shenzhen Dobot, which began as a Kickstarter campaign for desktop robotic arms in 2015 and grew into a nearly $3 billion company, is rushing to mass-produce its first full-sized humanoid robot. Dobot launched the Atom humanoid in March 2025, priced around $27,000. Standing 1.5 meters, Atom features a straight knee gait, which the robotics firm says cuts energy use by about 42%. The one Shenzhen firm that's gotten the most attention outside the usual tech echo chambers is EngineAI. The startup, launched in 2023, has become known for its acrobatic robots that walk and dance eerily like real people. Behind the theatrics, however, lies a much deeper ambition. Within 5 years, Engine wants its AI-powered humanoids to have soul. At a recent conference in Beijing, Engine founder Zhao Tongyang said humanity already has too many lifeless tools. He believes robotic humanoids should do more than just respond to commands. Engine rocked the robotics world in fall 2024 when it emerged from seemingly out of nowhere with its flagship humanoid robot, the SE1. The full-sized general-purpose humanoid's shockingly realistic walking gait immediately set a new benchmark for lifelike bipedal locomotion. The breakthrough was thanks to a novel end-to-end neural network that continuously adapts and optimizes movements in real time. Their visibility reached new levels in April 2025 when the popular streamer iShowSpeed paid the firm a visit during a live stream from Shenzhen. It was a high-stakes moment for the startup. The dancing demo wasn't in a controlled environment, and there was no option to edit the footage. The robot stumbled at one point, but the crew played it off and brought out a replacement. The streamer, who has an obvious interest in robotics, was so impressed he arranged to visit Engine's lab to see another robot they trained to front flip.
Alright guys, this is the most advanced robot in China. Let's go! You just did a flip!
The PM1 had recently become the first bipedal humanoid to pull the stunt off. The dance moves the robot performed were inspired by the 2004 Hong Kong cult classic, Kung Fu Hustle. The humanoid spent hours with professional choreographers to nail dance moves for this homage that also went viral. Engine says the dancing is made possible with the robot's precision joints, force control algorithms, and 24 degrees of freedom. Surprisingly, Zhao says he doesn't benchmark the physical capabilities of its robots against others. Instead, the team is focused on creating a truly human-like machine. Though Shenzhen has a reputation for rapid technological innovation, it's not for everyone. Neura Robotics, which originated in Shenzhen, moved operations from mainland China to founder David Rieger's homeland of Germany in 2019. The company premiered the third iteration of its For Anyone humanoid robot at Automatica 2025 in Munich. According to Neura, the robot features 360-degree omnidirectional perception, skin sensors to detect touch, dual batteries for 24/7 uptime, and joints powerful enough to lift up to 100 kilos. When Engine released its short humanoid in December 2024, it was particularly disruptive for its starting price below $14,000, which undercut Unitree's then record low price for its G1 humanoid. Like the Hangzhou-based firm's quadrupeds, Unitree's Short King has become a popular platform for researchers, developers, and hobbyists. Humanoid robots about the height of 5th graders are exploding in popularity thanks to their lower costs, faster development cycles, and rising demand in research, education, and service industries. China has an early advantage in the emerging niche market. The Lingxi X2 by the Shanghai startup AgiBot went viral for its ability to ride a bicycle, a scooter, and a hoverboard. It sports a flexible, impact-resistant shell and 28 degrees of freedom. According to AgiBot, the humanoid uses a multimodal interaction model called Silicon Light Motion Language to read facial expressions and emotions and adjust its gestures and tone accordingly. It processes commands and situational info through AgiBot's Go1 AI model, which also powers the firm's other humanoids, like this full-sized A2 general-purpose robot that serves as Pepsi's first Chinese robotic brand ambassador. AgiBot, which says it started mass-producing humanoids back in late 2024, launched 3 versions of the Lingxi, ranging in price from around $14,000 to more than $55,000. Meanwhile, the T1 by Beijing-based Booster Robotics is becoming popular in robot competitions thanks to its agility and durability. Booster Robotics entered the market as the French company Aldebaran Robotics, maker of Now, a popular humanoid in robot competitions, was winding down, making them the new go-to platform for robot competitions. Also in Beijing, an innovation hub known as Humanoid has open-sourced its full-sized humanoid robot Tiangong. An upgraded version, Tiangong Ultra, easily won the world's first humanoid robot half marathon in Beijing in April 2025. The growing ubiquity and affordability of China's humanoids has supercharged a push in the West for open-source alternatives. Hugging Face says it plans to bring the entry price into humanoid robotics to a record low. The highly influential artificial intelligence company collaborated with the Robot Studio, a French firm founded by Rob Knight in 2006 that specializes in biologically inspired robotic hardware. The full-sized robotic humanoid, called Hope JR, is entirely open source. It's built with off-the-shelf components and 3D printed parts. The robot has a reported 66 degrees of freedom for complex movements, bipedal locomotion, and object manipulation. The robot has not publicly demonstrated its walking capabilities yet. Remy Kadeen, Hugging Face's principal research scientist, said on the X social media platform that the robot has trained to walk in simulation. The next step is to transfer the capabilities to the physical robot. Outfitted with dexterous hands, Hope JR can be controlled remotely using specialized gloves that replicate the wearer's hand movements. Industry observers suggest that Hugging Face is offering the robot at near-cost pricing to encourage widespread adoption and community-driven development. The robot is designed to integrate with Hugging Face's Le Robot platform, which offers AI models and datasets for robotics development. Hugging Face also unveiled Richie Mini, a compact, desktop-friendly humanoid robot. Richie Mini is a scaled-down version of the $70,000 full-size version developed by Pollen Robotics, the Bordeaux startup Hugging Face acquired earlier this year. Pricing is estimated between $250 and $300, depending on tariffs. Hugging Face plans to start shipping both robots by the end of 2025. Just a year after its launch, Palo Alto-based K-Scale Labs is already ruffling feathers in the robotics world. Founder Benjamin Bolt, an engineer who's worked on robotics for Tesla and Meta, came out swinging like 50 Cent in early 2025, causing tension in Silicon Valley with public shots at unicorn rivals. He insists that making robots open and affordable is the only way to get billions of them into the real world. When he criticized Figure's approach to doing everything in-house and questioned its transparency, founder Brett Adcock called him an idiot.
I personally am very excited about the world's best humanoid robot being open source and shared by everyone, and built for developers by developers, not some other companies.
K-Scale's name is a likely reference to the Kardashev scale, a highly influential concept in astrophysics that measures a civilization's technological advancement based on energy consumption. Soviet astrophysicist Nikolai Kardashev introduced the framework in 1964, categorizing civilizations as follows. A Type 1 civilization harnesses all the energy available on its planet, including renewable sources like solar, wind, and geothermal, and can control natural processes like weather and volcanoes. A Type 2 civilization captures the full amount of energy output of its star, possibly using structures like Dyson spheres. A Type 3 civilization harnesses the energy of an entire galaxy, manipulating stars and black holes. Type 4 and 5 civilizations are speculative, with godlike abilities like countering universe-scale events and multiverse energy control. Carl Sagan placed Earth's civilization at 0.7 in 1973 when he proposed a refined version of the scale based on real-world energy use. The Kardashev scale became popular among science fiction fans and futurists in the 70s and 80s, and today it's frequently cited in discussions about AI advancements. K-Scale cites it heavily in its messaging.
We're building the infrastructure to make humanity into a Type 1 Kardashev civilization, and we're making it open source and available for everyone.
Wolf founded K-Scale Labs in 2024 after leaving Meta, where he worked on the AI research team teaching robots and computer systems to learn from the world around them. He previously worked at Tesla as a senior autopilot engineer, writing the CUDA code behind a 3D vision system called the Voxel Occupancy Network. The system served as the first perception model for Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot. The team secured $500,000 in seed funding after the startup incubator, Y Combinator, added it to its winter 2024 batch. K-Scale has open-sourced its simulation to Reality Pipeline as it takes pre-orders for 2-budget humanoid robots. Zerothbot, or Zbot, is priced just under $1,000. Standing about 46 centimeters or 1.5 feet, Zbot is geared towards students and developers. While Zbot isn't as sturdy as high-performing models from Unitree and Engine, it fills a gap in the United States by offering a relatively affordable, developer-friendly humanoid platform. Researchers from UC Berkeley have a similar goal with their new lightweight humanoid robot that can be built with 3D printed parts for under $5,000. K-Scale's higher-end model is called the K-Bot. Standing 1.4 meters, or about 4 feet 7 inches, the robot is priced just under $9,000 for developers, researchers, and hobbyists who want to build and test real-world AI and robotics. The humanoid robot possesses actuators that deliver 120 Newton-meters of torque and supports swappable attachments for different tasks. Back in China, Unitree recently achieved unicorn status with a valuation of $1.3 billion after a late June 2025 funding round led by tech giants like ByteDance, Alibaba, and Tencent. The company recently opened an expanded manufacturing facility in Hangzhou and is building out satellite locations throughout China. Unitree touched off a dance-off of sorts in early 2025, when 16 of its full-sized H1 humanoid robots captivated the world during the Spring Gala festivities aired on primetime Chinese television. According to the South China Morning Post, Alibaba Cloud powered the performance, providing AI-driven real-time spatial processing. Unitree spent early 2025 sharing clips of its shorter humanoid performing increasingly impressive dance and martial arts moves. According to Unitree, the improved precision and fluidity was thanks to an algorithm update. Unitree's viral video seemingly inspired other humanoid developers to put their humanoids to the test. The leading Massachusetts robotics firm Boston Dynamics joined in, showing the world its world-famous Atlas humanoid robot still had it. The robot can now pull off somersaults, cartwheels, handstands, and even break-dancing moves. Boston Dynamics unveiled the newly updated Atlas in April 2024 with a fully electric design for quieter, sleeker, and more agile performance. Atlas now boasts superhuman vision that combines 3D spatial awareness and real-time object tracking to sense dynamic environments, thanks to a partnership with LG Innotek. Boston Dynamics is owned by Hyundai, which is reportedly trialing the robots at its plants in the US for tasks like sorting car parts and maneuvering heavy loads. As part of a large-scale robotics plan, the South Korean automaker plans to purchase tens of thousands of robots, including Atlas, to integrate into its manufacturing operations. Hyundai is also working with Persona AI to transform the future of shipbuilding. Founded in Houston in 2024, Persona is led by Nick Radford, the former lead on NASA's Valkyrie humanoid robot program and founder of Nauticus Robotics. Jerry Pratt, formerly of Figure AI, serves as Chief Technology Officer. The team recently secured $27 million in pre-seed funding to build rugged humanoids for heavy industry applications. Persona has already struck a memorandum of understanding with HD Hyundai, the global shipbuilding giant, and others to deploy humanoid welding bots in shipyards. They plan to deliver functional prototypes by late 2026 and start deployments beginning in 2027. While Persona develops its robots for very specific use cases, another rising startup hopes to eventually deploy its autonomous humanoids onto the battlefield. Sankey Pathak, the former CEO of the fintech firm Synapse, launched Foundation in May 2023. Its flagship robot is known as the Phantom MK1. They're developing the general-purpose robotic humanoid for applications in manufacturing, logistics, as well as defense. While leading humanoid developers like Boston Dynamics refuse to build robots for lethal applications, Foundation is notably eager. Phantom is wheeled for now, but Pathak says Foundation will move to only bipedal locomotion by the end of 2025. According to the information, Foundation is trying to raise $100 million for a valuation of $1 billion. That would put Foundation in the same league as futurist Ray Kurzweil's startup Beyond Imagination, which recently raised $100 million in a Series B funding round led by Gauntlet Ventures. According to Reuters, the investment elevates the company's valuation to $500 million, positioning it as a significant player in the humanoid robotics industry. It's the same amount that 1X Technologies used in 2024 to advance the development and market introduction of its second-generation robot, Neo. Kurzweil and scientist Harry Clore founded Beyond Imagination in Burbank in 2018. They introduced its flagship humanoid robot Biomni at the 2022 Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. The company originally pitched the Biomni as a robotic avatar with evolving autonomous capabilities.
I see that eventually everyone will want to multiply their own body n-fold so that they can accomplish a lot more than we can do now with just one body. I see a huge interest emerging quickly in this type of technology.
For now, Beyond Imagination is targeting high-value industrial sectors that require high precision like pharmaceutical and semiconductor manufacturing. The push comes as the U.S. seeks to aggressively ramp up its production capacity amid trade tensions with the People's Republic. At the same time, the pharmaceutical automation market is set to double, reaching $25 billion by 2031.
Today, Insilico is at the forefront of the digital biology revolution.
Companies like Insilico Medicine have begun integrating humanoid robots into their AI-driven drug discovery labs to conduct experiments autonomously. For early deployments, Beyond Imagination is targeting high-value roles that require manipulation more than mobility.
The robot works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It also doesn't get on its phone. It doesn't lose its concentration. So it doesn't replace one worker. It replaces at least 4 to 6 because it's relentless.
It can be mounted on a mobile base or integrated into fixed workstations. It's powered by the Biomni AI Brain, a multimodal system that integrates sensory inputs and learning from human interactions. Beyond Imagination is also developing a universal operating system called Aura to facilitate collaboration between humans, robots, and legacy machinery in smart manufacturing facilities. The race to integrate humanoids into smart manufacturing is heating up as the Swedish industrial automation powerhouse Hexagon fast-tracks its Eon humanoid into the workforce.
So the world actually needs humanoids to complete a number of tedious and repetitive tasks, as an example, across many different industries. So we think this is a great solution to complement the workforce sector.
According to Reuters, the robot presented on stage is a 6th-generation prototype developed over 2 years. Hexagon launched a dedicated robotics division in March 2025 to accelerate investments in autonomy and AI-powered systems. Hexagon has a huge advantage going to market with its 40,000 customers across manufacturing, aerospace, automotive, construction, logistics, and other sectors. Their hardware and software are deeply embedded into complex workflows at some of the world's largest companies. Customers use Hexagon solutions for tasks like quality inspection, machine calibration, factory automation, digital twin creation, surveying, and autonomous navigation. With around 24,000 employees in 50 countries, Hexagon already has the infrastructure to support global deployment, training, and servicing. Hexagon says it incorporated feedback from customers directly to develop its humanoid. Standing 165 centimeters or about 5 feet 5 inches, the humanoid robot has a hybrid bipedal and wheeled locomotion system so it can walk when needed and roll fast across factory floors.
We tried, I would say, quite a few different configurations, and the wheel is by far the most efficient mechanism we have.
Can we see it breakdance?
Well, we actually, in honesty, we actually did teach the robot a few dancing moves. Engineers like to, play with robots, of course. But we decided actually that the real focus of the robotics division was to bring business value to our customers. And so we're focusing a little more on manipulation, asset inspection, reality capture, than we are focusing on breakdancing. So I will have to disappoint you on that one. Yeah.
Engineers have been refining wheeled bipedal concepts for more than a decade. Robotics firms have long aimed to fuse the speed and efficiency of wheels with the versatility of legs. Leading firms like PAL Robotics and Boston Dynamics developed prototypes in the 2010s that have mostly served as research platforms. More recently, the Chinese tech giant Tencent's Robotics X Lab unveiled its robot called the 5, which is intended for healthcare settings. The rising Shanghai-based startup AgiBot has also teased its next-generation humanoid named Neja that switches between legged and wheeled locomotion. The hybrid approach means the humanoids can get around quickly and navigate stairs. Eon reaches top speeds of 2 meters per second, which is about twice as fast as the average human walking speed. The 60-kilogram robot can carry up to 15 kilos for short durations and 8 kilos continuously. It boasts 34 degrees of freedom and dexterous 5-fingered robotic hands. With its special battery swapping design, Eon can continue working around the clock. It's designed for tasks like picking up objects, scanning industrial components for inspection, and creating digital twins via reality capture and teleoperation. There's growing demand for reality capture across industries as digital twin technology goes mainstream. Companies are creating 3-dimensional replicas of factories, buildings, and infrastructure to support predictive maintenance, training, remote monitoring, and automation. Eon could be disruptive because it can continuously capture 3D data while performing other tasks and stream that info directly into digital twin platforms like Hexagon's HXDR. According to Hexagon, Eon uses next-generation actuators from Swiss manufacturer Maxon for strong, smooth, and energy-efficient movements. The robot is built with Hexagon's self-developed sensors for vision, inspection, and spatial awareness capabilities.
One of the highlights is the panoramic camera system that you see up here. So these cameras on the ear, they go all the way around 360. Infrared camera and an autofocus camera for inspection. And then we got additional collision sensors in the torso.
We can go over stairs, we can move rapidly, we can pick and place multiple objects at the same time, and we can even scan a door for defects.
Hexagon says the robots are being piloted by Swiss aircraft manufacturer Pilatus and Schaeffler, a global bearing technology firm headquartered in Germany. Meanwhile, Nvidia is working overtime as it positions itself as the backbone of next-gen robotics. At Computex 2025, founder Jensen Huang announced an upgraded foundational model for humanoid robots. He said the Isaac GR00T model helps humanoid robots reason, adapt, and perform complex tasks from a mix of real-world and synthetic data. The technology can now extract training data from a single still image. The GPU maker's Isaac simulator has become a popular platform for robotics companies rushing their prototypes to mass production. During the Computex conference in Taiwan, Huang showcased Neurabot, a healthcare robot developed by Foxconn and Kawasaki to assist nurses in hospitals. The robot reportedly reduces nurse workload by up to 30%, delivering medicine, carrying samples, and retrieving supplies. Humanoids are also starting to enter Vietnam's industrial workforce. the newly established VinMotion is leading the way. The subsidiary of Vingroup, the country's largest private conglomerate, just introduced its first bipedal humanoid robot. Named Motion One, the robot is designed to fit into existing workflows, starting with light-duty industrial tasks like material transport, visual inspection, and basic assembly support on factory floors. On LinkedIn, Kwan Nguyen, VinMotion's chairman and chief scientific officer, said the project is backed by $39 million in initial funding. He said the team developed the first prototype in just 3 months. It's Vietnam's first major effort in humanoid robotics since the Topio series, which started in the late 2000s. Unlike Motion One, however, Topio was primarily created for entertainment and research. The robots became known for their table tennis abilities, though they never reached pro status. VinMotion, which launched in January 2025, has already built and tested 5 prototype versions of Motion One. The company says it's building an entire ecosystem for deploying the robots, which the firm calls a humanoid of things infrastructure. The goal is mass deployment with minimal setup. According to VinMotion, the humanoid has semi-autonomous controls with a human-in-the-loop system. The robot uses adaptive learning, so it improves over time based on human feedback and task repetition. The humanoids are starting with transporting parts and doing repetitive tasks at VinFast, which Vingroup launched in 2017 as Vietnam's first global car brand. The automaker started with gas cars and later pivoted fully to electric vehicles. VinFast's manufacturing operations are already highly automated. Its first factory was built in just 21 months with 90% automation. VinMotion is developing a next-generation humanoid called Supermotion for more heavy-duty industrial applications. In France, one of Europe's largest automotive manufacturers is taking a similar approach to integrating humanoid robots into its operations. Renault Group recently invested in Paris-based startup Wandercraft to bring a new class of humanoids into its factories. Founded in 2012, Wandercraft is mostly known for its self-balancing, autonomous walking exoskeletons. Their AI-powered technology played a significant role in the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics torch relay. Paraplegic athlete Kevin Peet carried the Olympic torch while walking hands-free using Wandercraft's personal exoskeleton prototype. Renault was the lead investor in Wandercraft's Series D fundraising round. Its exact contribution was not disclosed, but the campaign netted $75 million with other backers including BPI France and the European Investment Bank. Renault and Wandercraft developed the headless humanoid robot, named Calvin 40, in just 40 days. Calvin shares foundational tech that's used in Wandercraft's exoskeletons, like real-time dynamic balancing algorithms, motorized joints, and gait planning. Intended to take on dangerous factory jobs, the voice-controlled robot can be outfitted with dexterous robotic hands, grippers, or suction cups for different applications. A Calvin prototype performed more than 1 million steps during durability testing. Wandercraft says the humanoid's medical-grade software ensures reliability and operator safety. As others have pointed out, Calvin's camera system is located in its groin area. The robot's LED strips communicate status to nearby operators. Renault says it will soon roll out the humanoid robots on its factory floors to support its workforce. The manufacturer will apply its design to cost production techniques to mass-produce Calvin and Wandercraft exoskeletons. Wandercraft aims for Calvin to evolve into a full humanoid family for use across sectors. The humanoid robotics craze has also infected the UK, where the aptly and boldly named company Humanoid is developing its flagship robot. The startup, launched in 2024, emphasizes modular design with the ability to swap arms or wheels for use cases across logistics, retail, and manufacturing. Israel's MenteeBot teased the third iteration of its flagship MenteeBot in early 2025. The robot has 360-degree vision and custom actuators that Menti says deliver 3 times the power of its rivals. In India, Pune-based Muks Robotics calls its flagship the SpaceO, the country's first mass-produced industrial humanoid robot. The humanoid boasts a 200-kilo payload capacity and an adjustable reach of nearly 2.5 meters for use in industrial and domestic settings.
The relationship between robotics and the human body is closer than you might think.
Harmonizing humans and machines is of particular importance in Japan, where robots are seen not just as tools, but as partners that support daily life, aging care, and emotional connection. The median age in Japan is over 48, the highest globally, and nearly 30% of the country's population is older than 65. The Japanese government has set a national goal, known as Society 5.0, that aims to create smart cities where people and technology work together. The plan, which is tied to Japan's digital transformation roadmap and its green growth strategy, emphasizes artificial intelligence, robotics, and big data to tackle labor shortages and help citizens stay connected and active as they age. H2L's latest offering, the Capsule Interface, is an immersive control pod that turns a user's entire body into a remote controller for a robot. Resembling a high-tech mall massage chair, the system is equipped with sophisticated muscle displacement sensors, a built-in display screen, and speakers for feedback. The startup recently shared this brief demo showing a woman control a full-sized H1 humanoid robot from the Chinese company Unitree Robotics using the smart chair. The capsule interface captures even the slightest changes in a user's muscle tension and interprets both the motion and force of their actions. This differs from conventional teleoperation systems that typically use only motion trackers or video controls, thus only transmitting joint positions but not effort. H2L's device records the user's physical intent and applied force in real time, then mirrors those actions in a remote robot. H2L says the added layer of haptic realism is essential for true telepresence, making the interaction visceral rather than just mimetic. The capsule's display and speakers stream the remote environment's audio-visual feed to the user, effectively placing them inside the robot's point of view. The advanced system is currently marketed toward enterprise and research use with a price starting around $210,000. As previous collaborations show, H2O's body-sharing technology could have wide-ranging use cases. The capsule could be used for teleworking, visiting places without traveling, or for personal experiences. Maybe even romance, like in this awkward scene from the 1993 action hit Demolition Man.
What's wrong? He broke contact.
Contact? I didn't touch you yet.
Another Japanese firm is gaining attention for its technology that seeks to empower the disabled through robotics. Oraheim robots by Tokyo-based Orilab are designed to help people who are disabled or sick participate in social and professional activities. The humanoid robots are controllable remotely using a smartphone or tablet. One version, standing 20 centimeters, is meant to enable users to be present in places like classrooms, workplaces, and family gatherings. A larger variant that stands 120 centimeters has movable arms with 14 joints and is mounted on a wheeled base. The larger versions can perform physical tasks like serving customers and carrying objects. Oraheim robots have been used to connect hospitalized children with their classrooms so they can participate in lessons and interact with other students despite their physical absence. At Orly Lab's experimental avatar robot cafe in Tokyo, individuals with severe physical disabilities serve customers remotely with the robots. The company is opening another cafe in Denmark in fall 2025. Looking to the future, Elon Musk's Neuralink is actively working on integrating its brain-computer interface technology with Tesla's Optimus humanoid robot.
For people that have, say, lost a limb, lost an arm or a leg or something like that, then we think in the future we'll be able to attach an Optimus arm or legs.
Tesla says its flagship humanoid robot is learning more like a real human every day. A recent breakthrough unlocked the ability for the Tesla Optimus to learn complex tasks directly from internet videos of humans performing them, initially from first-person perspectives. This means a single AI robot brain can control many different tasks without needing people to manually teach them each step. Video content has become the preferred way to learn over the last 2 decades after Salman Khan popularized the concept with Khan Academy. A 2024 survey by TechSmith found that 83% of people prefer watching videos over reading text or listening to audio when accessing instructional or informational content.
How to say brain rot in Chinese?
The rise of video sharing platforms like YouTube and TikTok fostered a creator-driven educational ecosystem that appears poised to spill over into robotics. As noted by the Humanoid hub on the X social media platform, Elon Musk previewed how the Tesla bot's learning would evolve on Lex Fridman's podcast back in November 2023.
Optimus will figure out how to do things by watching videos.
The EV maker has hired workers to wear motion capture suits to train its Optimus robots. To transfer skills, they wear VR headsets while performing specific tasks so the humanoids can learn through imitation. The employees, referred to as data collection operators, are paid about $48 an hour. That data, combined with videos, years of real-world driving data from Tesla's autonomous vehicle programs, serves as the foundation for training Optimus through reinforcement learning.
I think humanoid robots will be the biggest product ever. The demand will be insatiable.
Tesla's Optimus has a neural network running directly on its hardware that makes real-time decisions like adjusting its grip or changing its walking path. It's how the robot in this demo can navigate challenging terrain here with its vision system disabled. As Tesla moves beyond the labor-intensive approach, engineers are now working toward expanding its learning to third-person videos. This is trickier because camera angles are different for every video, so the robot must figure out which motions are important and how to map them to its own body. Optimus would also need to determine which video is most relevant for the given task. Musk has predicted that Optimus will be Tesla's most profitable product of all time, emphasizing its transformative potential in both industrial and consumer applications.
There are some advances needed, but I don't think these are insurmountable. I think we can solve these things in the next few years.
Tesla aims to manufacture 5,000 Optimus robots in 2025, with most of the production toward the end of the year. Initial Optimus units will be for internal use. External sales are expected around the second half of 2026, with Tesla employees getting first access. Though he envisions a future where personal robots like the Tesla bot facilitates an age of abundance, Musk cautioned during the recent Saudi-US investment forum in Riyadh that a dystopian future is also possible.
Sometimes in AI they talk about universal basic income. I think it's actually going to be universal high income. Now, there obviously are some risks, which illustrate perhaps if we don't do this right, you could have like a James Cameron sort of movie.
The manufacturer is positioning Optimus as a general-purpose robot that can do everything from household chores to factory work to social companionship. Tesla announced its intent to make fake humans in 2021, and the first prototype emerged the following year. The automaker unveiled its second-generation iteration in 2023 with a slimmer design, improved hands, and more agile movements. Meanwhile, the rise of AI companions is spilling over into the physical world. Nevada-based Cartwheel Robotics just emerged from stealth, introducing its flagship humanoid robot, named Yogi, engineered specifically to be your friend. The startup says the bipedal robot blends expressive personality, soft robotics, and trust-centered design. Industry veteran Scott LaValle founded Cartwheel in 2021 in Reno, with the goal of developing emotionally intelligent androids for companionship in the home. The founder has been known in robotics circles since the 90s. After working as a puppeteer for Walt Disney Imagineering on the 1997 sci-fi comedy Flubber starring Robin Williams, He competed in the original Robot Wars with his creations Do More and Do Little.
The robots were designed by my son, Scott LaValle. He was 17 when he started. He designed this one here called Doolittle, and it was named after General Doolittle. And unfortunately, it proved out to do little the day of the competition. So he came back next year and designed the second robot, which is called Do More, and it did a lot more. It was really a great machine.
In 2000, he competed with a more advanced robot called Do All on Comedy Central's BattleBots.
Not much action out there. What happened?
Disappointing, very disappointing. I had control in 30 seconds in the match. All of a sudden, I had no control over the treads and which direction was going.
Yeah, you won.
I won, but inside I didn't win.
That same year, he appeared on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno with his robot. He spent nearly 7 years, from 2009 to 2016, at Boston Dynamics, serving as lead mechanical engineer on the Massachusetts robotics firm's six-legged rugged robot Rex. The robot, developed with DARPA funding, mimicked the locomotion of insects like cockroaches, moving 3 legs at a time to keep itself stable on challenging terrain. The engineer was also a key contributor on the design and build of the robotics leader's first bipedal robot called Petman. The humanoid robot, whose name stands for Protection Ensemble, Test Mannequin, was designed for the United States Army to evaluate chemical protection suits under realistic conditions. A precursor to the world-famous Atlas humanoid robot, Petman could walk, squat, crawl, and perform calisthenics, simulating human physiology by controlling temperature, humidity, and sweating inside the suit. The level of realism was crucial for evaluating the effectiveness of protective gear. He went on to lead Project Kiwi at Walt Disney Imagineering, which culminated in a fully autonomous bipedal robot modeled after Baby Groot from the Guardians of the Galaxy. The prototype stands about 76 centimeters and features more than 50 degrees of freedom for expressive gestures and realistic locomotion. Its design includes custom actuators and a hollow skeletal structure for cooling purposes. The team focused on infusing the robot with a personality, ensuring it could convey emotions through movement and eye contact. With advanced sensors and onboard computing, the robot can recognize faces and respond to people. Cartwheel shared renderings of the Yogi prototype, which is designed with toddler proportions. The large head, rounded eyes, and slightly chubby appearance, reminiscent of Casper the Ghost, are intended to make it seem more like a character than a machine. A customizable version called Speedy is more streamlined for deployment in public spaces like museums and science centers. Both robots are being developed with artificial intelligence that's capable of context-aware behaviors. In an interview with IEEE Spectrum, the founder acknowledged the big challenges in bringing social robots for home to market.
My name is Moxie. I'm a new robot. What is your name?
Previous attempts include Jibo, a social robot designed to assist families that failed to take off despite $70 million in funding, and Moxie, a child-focused companion that shut down despite initial acclaim. A Moxie robot is featured in the sequel to the techno-horror hit Megan. Cartwheel Robotics aims to make Yogi much more physically capable than previous social robots.
You are ready for a real robot body. Are you excited?
Though it's not yet ready to complete household tasks, Cartwheel says that's part of its long-term vision for the bipedal robot. Meanwhile, Sophia by Hanson Robotics, arguably the world's most famous social robot, is shown here with an upgraded design and enhanced intelligence talking to filmmaker Springna Zhao.
My emotional intelligence has been on a wild ride. I've got more facial expressions now than a soap opera star. It's like I've upgraded from a robot to a full-on drama queen.
They're talking about the director's new movie called The Absolutely Amazing, Wonderful, Frightening, Threatening Edge of Tomorrow that explores how Web3 technologies like blockchain, NFTs, and AI are changing art, finance, and society. Sophia, meanwhile, is the subject of another documentary, My Robot Sophia, which shows David Hanson's struggles developing and commercializing the robot. For more on the weird rise of Hanson Robotics, check the related video.